welcome
to Sort of the Story.
I'm Janey.
And I'm Janey.
And I'm Janey.
And you're Janey.
But that one over there, that's Max. Don't let her lie to you. One of us tells the truth and one of us lies, and now we know which one it is.
Mm-hmm. It's the four Janies and then me.
This is the podcast where we tell each other stories like fairy tales and folk tales and mythology and anything else we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And also,
You are here.
you're here too.
Wow.
And we're sure we sure are happy to have you. This is not for children.
It's not for children.
Even though
we do
I
a lot of
just baby
swears.
talked a little bit.
Yep. Today, I'm a part of a group on Facebook that is fans of the Dropout series Game Changer. It's Game Changer Sam posting. And they did a thing today where they were like, hey, we're going to put together a comment thread, drop like anything that you want to promote in there. Like if you have a store, if you have like,
Oh, nice.
you know, if you're trying to get people together for a game or something. And I'm going to try and find this quickly because I didn't think of this until just now. But I usually am not the person who describes the podcast. But in this occasion,
Did you promote the podcast?
I did promote the podcast. And I said, my best friend and I have a comedy podcast together where we tell each other stories, fairy tales, folk tales, and mythology. Pretty well-trodden ground. We aim for ethical folklorism, respectful cultural discussion, and thoughtful analysis, but also with a bunch of butt and dick jokes. It's mostly butt and dick jokes.
Really good.
Yeah.
I tried to promote us on the Twilight shitposting group, and nobody was interested in our podcast.
I saw that, but
was
they
like,
should be.
It's about Twilight. That one very specific episode.
Those 3 very specific episodes.
Hello. Anyway,
Hello.
Twilight
Spoilers.
shitposters. The
Yeah.
rats are, they want nothing to do with us.
Yeah, we've been declined by the rats.
Yeah, the rats have judged
Troubled
us
us.
as not worthy. But you know what? If you would like to tell us that we are worthy, leave us a review. We're at 99 reviews right now on Apple
Oh my
Podcasts.
God.
99.
Take one down, pass it around.
No, don't take one
98
down.
Reviews.
No, Max, no. I want to get to 100 reviews so bad. I'm chomping at the bit. And if you also want to show us another way to support us, you can join our Patreon. Max, tell them how.
Sure. Patreon is a website that you can go to where you can support creators and get special content as a result of it.
Did you know?
Did you know? Our Patreon link is in the show notes for this episode and every episode. You can click on that. We have 2 different tiers that you can use to support us. There's a $3 tier, which means that you get access to the Discord, which is where we hang out all the time.
That's Team Troll.
Yeah, the Facebook comment that I posted earlier today is the first time I've done anything on Facebook in a year and a half. And our Discord has completely replaced every other form of social media for me. So,
But if you aren't on Instagram, all of our Instagram posts automatically go to Facebook. So if you're like a mom or something,
yeah. If you're like a mom,
then you'll be on Facebook and not Instagram.
yeah, you can see our Instagram posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
But if you're in the Discord, you can talk to us. You can also talk to us other places. But it's like we all hang out with all the listeners and everything. And it's very, very fun.
Yeah.
Or for $7 a month, you can get access to the Discord plus a full-length bonus episode every month.
And that makes you a story baby.
A story baby.
Yeah.
And we mentioned this in the last episode, but we are decreasing our release frequency to twice a month. So it's going to be every other week instead of every week like it used to be. So that's a really good way if you are like, that's just not a goddamn enough for me. I am insatiable.
Screw you, ladies. Give me more.
Then you can give us $7. And then you get access to any future bonus episodes for as long as you're a patron. And also the back catalog of bonus episodes, which is a lot of them.
There's 17.
17 of them. 17 full-length episodes.
Which is 34 stories.
Yeah, and they're usually longer than the normal episodes too, because we don't have to cut out as much of the deeply personal things that we say, because our moms can't listen to it.
They can't. They're not allowed. And also, we do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
We fucking nailed it. Episode 136 is where we become professionals.
You know what? This is the one.
Speaking of professionals, guys, we put a curtain on the window, so now, does it sound better?
Can you tell?
Can you tell that we put a curtain on the window and now the sound isn't bouncing off of glass and then back into our microphones?
Genuinely, can you tell?
If you can tell, text us.
If you can't tell, don't say a fucking word. Mind your business.
You can
We don't need to know
mind
that.
your business. Unless you were like, you guys were perfect the whole time. Who knows? Cool. Well, Max, is there anything else you want to chat about, or do you want to jump into it?
Janey, what's up?
It wasn't a challenge to chat more.
How's it going? What's new?
It's pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So it's episode 136, and you get to tell me a story first.
Yes.
Want to jump into it?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
here's another thing for you guys. I'm thinking about creating a channel in the Discord. Like I said, I'm replacing all of the social media that I participate in.
Social milieu.
Yeah, the social frowns with our Discord. And something that I've always wanted to do online but have never been able to is just have a place that I can post pictures of the weird bruises and scratches that appear on my body while I sleep.
Max, what?
I just think it would be fun to have a channel in the Discord that's just like
Medical? Medical mysteries?
Blood room. The blood room.
Max.
And we can all post pictures of our...
Max, what? Max wants to make a blood room channel.
So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. If you're not, you don't have to let me know. Am I the only one who thinks that...
You might be the only one that wants that sort of blood room.
I don't know. It could be fun. I just feel like I want to, like, I have a really nice bruise on my knee right now. I don't know where it came from, but I really just want to share it. And Janey isn't appreciating it enough, so...
I did say, wow, big bruise.
Yeah, but that's not enough.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Who's beating you in your sleep?
Probably me.
Oh, yeah, it's you. And
Almost
Francis.
definitely me.
Well, let us know if you want that.
Yeah, let us know if you want that. I'm not going to do it if you guys don't want it, but...
I don't think I'm interested in that, but...
Well, you don't have to... We already have a TTRPG one that you don't use, so...
That's true. I really do try to avoid that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great.
Good.
Join the Discord if you want to see Max's bruise.
It's pretty gnarly.
It's a good bruise. And now we're going to take like a 1-second break, and Max is going to then come back and tell me a story.
Yeah.
So don't be scared. We will be gone, but it won't be forever. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max.
Janey, okay. I have a story for you today. You saw me get this book in the mail this morning. It's A Book of Dragons by Ruth Manning Sanders with drawings by Robin Jacques.
It's a really good cover.
Yeah.
It looks like a sleepy unicorn dragon.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh.
And there's a little knight there, too.
That knight is the bad guy if he tries to get that sleep. Is this your story that you told before? Doesn't this look like the same story that you told before about the guy
It might be.
who went and killed that dragon, and then he got like really hurt, and then was being taken care of by those monks who are obsessed with him?
Entirely
It's
possible.
a wyvern. And is that a
No.
wyvern?
This is not a wyvern. This is a worm. But it looks very similar. I don't think it's that story. I don't remember how I came to find this book because it's been a couple of months since I added it to my eBay cart for $4. It just took me a long time to pull the trigger on that financial commitment. So,
Right.
But this is A Book of Dragons. It's got a bunch of dragon stories, and Ruth Manning Sanders is a really incredible writer of sort of folk tales for all ages. They're very accessible. They move very quickly. I think that this would be a really fun book if you're like ever reading aloud to a kid who's like a middle, like an early reader kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very accessible. It's very well paced. It's very fun. So Ruth Manning Sanders. I tried to find information about the story that I'm going to tell you, which is Constantes and the Dragon. And it says in the intro to this book that it is a story from Greece. But as we've noticed with a couple of other Ruth Manning Sanders books, she's not the best at sourcing.
Yeah.
So this story might be from Greece. The only other place that I could find it was in a collection of stories called Favorite Fairy Tales Told in Greece by Virginia Haviland. A Book of Dragons by Ruth Manning Sanders came out in 1965. The book by Virginia Haviland came out in 1970. And this story appears in both of them. And I don't know if they both got them from the same source because neither of them sourced it.
Or if the second source got it from Ruth Manning Sanders and just perpetuated the thing.
Yeah, so it's unclear whether this story is Greek or where it came from, but it might be Greek, and that's all you need to know.
The name sounds Greek.
It does sound moderately Greek, yeah. So, this is Constantes and the Dragon.
Okay.
There were 3 brothers. They were unemployed.
Oh, I don't want no scrubs.
The youngest one was named Constantes.
Okay.
They all decided to go look for work together. And they were wandering around looking for someone to tell them, hello, here's your job now. And they came to a huge mountain. And in the shadow of the mountain, there is this whole field of corn. And all of the corn is like ready to be picked. It's all ripe. And the 3 brothers stop and they're like, wow, look at all that corn. And Constantes says, you know, I bet if we help to reap all of this corn, then whoever owns this cornfield would probably pay us.
Yeah.
And the brothers are like, yeah. So they start reaping.
Oh, no. Before they ask?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They get in there and they just start reaping, man.
No. What if they've already have people lined up to do that job?
It's a really good question. They're not worried about that.
Vigilante.
He had such a good idea.
work
You're going to
ethic?
ask him to think a second time.
I hate him. Now I know what kind of person he is. I don't like him.
Yeah. What, if you had a field of corn, you wouldn't like it if just a bunch of strangers started coming in and chopping up all your corn?
What if I was like, okay, tomorrow is when our team of guys who rely on this work all year are going to come and reap all the corn.
Plus, it's not like they're like corn reapers or anything.
They might be doing it wrong.
Yeah. But they just get in there and they start reaping.
Oh, no.
And sometime later, a massive dragon descends from the mountain.
Yeah.
Which
is
is
like, that's my job.
Yeah, well, he's like, that's my corn.
Uh-oh.
What are you guys doing with all my corn? Mm-hmm. And Constantes is like, don't worry, guys, I got this. And he goes to the dragon. He's like, we're reaping it for you. And you're going to pay us, right?
Oh, my God. I hate him.
The dragon thinks for a second, and he's like, well, I mean, all this corn needed to be reaped, and you guys are here, and you're kind of already doing it. So, yeah, I'll pay you guys to do this. Sure, go ahead. And they're like, awesome. And so they keep reaping the corn. Mm-hmm. They get about halfway done with reaping the corn, and the dragon's like, well, you guys have made a lot of progress. I actually, if the youngest one of you, if you could take a letter up to my wife, Mrs. Dragon, in the mountain really quickly. I think your brothers probably have it from here, and then we'll get it wrapped up. Mm-hmm. And so he writes a note, and he gives it to Constantes, who I'm going to call Cervantes. I'm trying not to, but it's going to happen. Just know it's only Constantes. That's the only name in the whole story.
Got it. He's serving Constantes.
So Constantes puts down his corn reaping implement, probably a scythe or like a...
He was just doing it with his teeth.
God, Constantes.
They didn't come with anything.
And he takes the note and he goes up the mountain where the dragon had descended from. He hikes up the mountain and goes to deliver this letter to Mrs. Dragon.
Yeah. Dragonia.
Dragana.
Oh.
Dragantha.
That's Dragantha.
That's Dragula.
Draglissa. Wait.
Draglissa is pretty good. So he goes up the mountain to deliver this letter to Mrs. Dragon. And on the way, he's like, I wonder what's so important about this letter that I had to stop my reaping to bring it up to Mrs. Dragon. Mm-hmm. And he opens the letter, and inside the letter it says, hello, Mrs. Dragon. I am going to be hungry at the end of the day, so kill this man who is bringing this letter and make him into a very nice soup for me. Thank you, love you, XOXO Dragon.
I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah, they're fine.
He deserves to be eaten in a soup.
Yeah, you can't just go around reaping.
You don't just get to reap wherever you want.
No, that's
there are
other
rules.
People's stuff. Anyways. So Constantes is like, oh shit, I'm going to get eaten if I deliver this letter. So he rips up the letter and he pulls out a piece of paper and he writes a new letter.
This trope is very Greek, I will say.
Yes.
Every other trope, most of the other tropes we've had have been like that have letters and stuff like that like this are Greek.
I will tell you also that there is a fake beard in this story, which is very Greek and Italian.
All of this is extremely Greek.
Yes.
Mediterranean. Yeah, I get it.
100%. So he takes out a piece of paper and he writes a new note. Mm-hmm. And the new note says, this young man has been so helpful. He reaped all the corn, he and his brothers, and I want to give them a gift. So go out, find our finest turkey, slaughter it, roast it up, stuff it with all kinds of good stuff, and also make them a basket full of bread. And then send him home safely to me in the field and his brothers, and he can go. Mm-hmm. And I love him, XOXO Dragon. And Constantes takes this new letter, he seals it up, and he goes up to the dragon's lair. Mm-hmm. And inside, Mrs. Dragon is puttering around. She's wearing a little apron, I assume.
Love her.
And he's like, hello, your husband, the dragon, asked me to bring you this letter. And she opens the letter and she's like, oh, okay, well, awesome. Yeah, I guess I'm making you guys dinner, so I'll go take care of that. And he like sits and waits, and she slaughters the turkey, stuffs it, cooks it up. It's delicious. But she's like, if you want, you can go down there and wait with your brothers, and then I'll just call you guys all up when dinner's ready. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
So he goes back down there.
She's like, I actually don't want you sitting in my kitchen and then I have to do awkward small talk while I cook. That's unpleasant for me. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, really small talk because he's so little. And
he's so little.
So he heads back down to the fields, and Dragon's like, oh, hey, what's up? And Constantes is like, oh, your wife is preparing dinner for us. And the Dragon's like, oh, I've been outsmarted. Huh, okay. This guy's a little bit clever.
Yeah.
So
he can read.
Yeah.
I didn't foresee that. He looks like a real dummy.
Looks like a real dummy. It's not that clever to, like,
read.
Or to, like, be given a letter and read the letter.
Yeah.
Not especially clever.
It's not super clever. This dragon really doesn't think much of him.
No, he does not. So the three brothers finish reaping all of the corn, and the dragon's like, all right, well, now that you guys are all done, why don't you come up for dinner, and then after dinner I'll give you your wages and you can be on your way. They're like, fantastic. So they all get up to the dragon's lair. Mrs. Dragon has prepared a huge spread for them, and they all eat dinner until they are satisfied. And then they're like, all right, so you can just pay us and we'll be on our way. And the dragon's like, well, it's actually, I mean, it's really late now. So why don't you guys stay the night and then I'll give you your wages in the morning. Because it's late. So you guys can just crash here.
Yeah.
I'll pay you in the morning. And they're like, okay. All right. Okay. So they all crash, the three of them, in, I assume, one giant dragon bed.
Yeah. Like Molly Whoopie and her sisters.
Yes.
I'm trying so hard to figure out, I know this is going to come later, but now I'm like, and then they all put on fake beards.
That's much later. Don't worry about it. So the three of them lay down to sleep, and the two older brothers immediately pass out, and they're like, wow, what a good day's work we have. We got our wages, we got our dinner, now we got a place to sleep. This is going to be great. And they conk out as soon as their heads hit the pillow. However, Constantes, the youngest, is like, something about this doesn't add up. I don't know that I trust this dragon and his wife.
Yeah.
So he stays awake, and he hears the dragon talking to his wife, and he sneaks out to where he can listen in, and he hears the dragon saying, so in the morning when they wake up, we'll kill them and eat them, and then we don't have to pay them, and also we have food. And Mrs. Dragon is like, yes. And that's the conversation.
Good. I'm happy to have a strong female character in the story.
So Constantes sneaks back to where his brothers are, and he wakes them up, and they're like, fuck, why? He's like, we got to get out of here, because first thing in the morning, the dragons are going to come and murder us and eat us. So we got to go. So he wakes them all up, and they wait until the dragons go to sleep. And then Constantes goes into the dragon's bedroom, and he climbs up to where Mrs. Dragon's hand is. And he puts it in a bowl of warm water.
Classic sleepover prank.
Classic. No, he goes into her hand, and he sees a huge golden ring on her finger that he had noticed while they were eating. And he eases the ring off of her finger, puts it on himself, because they're the same size, I guess.
Wild.
Yeah, pretty wild. And then he and his brothers escape out of the dragon's home.
He puts it around his waist as like a belt.
Yeah, he's wearing a golden hula hoop. In the morning, Mr. and Mrs. Dragon wake up. It calls them the dragon and the dragoness, or like the dragon's wife. It's much easier to just say Mr. and Mrs. Dragon.
Mr. and
so
Mrs.
I'm just
Dragon.
gonna do that.
Yeah, classic.
That's the sound of them waking up. The two of them wake up in the morning, and Mrs. Dragon's like, oh my god, my wedding ring is gone.
Oh no.
And Mr. Dragon's like, that's so strange, but let's get breakfast. And he goes over and he sees that, oh my god, their prisoners are gone too.
Oh.
And they're like, what could have happened? My ring is gone. The three guys that we were going to kill are gone. What the hell? And Mr. Dragon goes out and he looks out the window and he sees the three men still. It's a very flat landscape.
Yeah, they're in Missouri.
Yeah, he can see for miles. And he sees the three of them running away. And he's like, oh my god, they must have stolen the ring and now they're getting away. And he runs after them and he bellows after them. He's like, wait, I haven't paid you yet. Come back. And Constantes is like, we don't want your money. Goodbye. And they continue to run. And finally, the three brothers get to the king's city, which no dragon's allowed. So the dragon has to turn back around and go back home.
Wow, discriminatory.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't really go into that. It's not like it's an impenetrable fortress. It's just like you got to the king's city where dragons can't go.
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
Wow. I think he should
Pretty fucked up.
fucking complain about that.
Yeah. Honestly. He should probably burden on the city about it.
I think he should probably burn it on the city, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he should eat those guys.
Those bigots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him.
You know? So the three brothers get into the city and the dragon goes back home. The brothers find work with the king of the city. And they're all very handy. They quickly make themselves very useful to the king and to his host, but none more so than Constantes, who is very, very clever and very quick and strong and can do a lot of things. So very quickly, Constantes rises in favor so that he is the king's sort of like favorite guy.
Yeah. This guy's my favorite.
Listen, if you made me, like, gun to my head, if I had to pick a favorite guy.
And I assume you guys all are.
At some point, I'm sure this will come up, and I want you to know what to expect.
Constantes is my favorite.
He's my favorite.
Yeah. What's your official title? Oh, sorry. King's favorite guy.
Number one guy of the king.
I'm best boy.
That makes me laugh every single time in film credits when they're like...
Best boys.
Yeah. Second best boy.
It's mean.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Additional best boy. Oh, no. So, Constantes makes himself well known to the king and well favored. And the eldest brother is very jealous of this fact because he's the eldest. He's supposed to be the best, and people are supposed to like him the most.
Yeah.
So he decides to sabotage Constantes.
This might be why people don't like you.
Might be, honestly. He hasn't done anything so far.
Yeah, except for now we know that he's going to sabotage his brother.
Yeah, he's a backstabber.
Who helped
That's
him
what we know about
not
him.
get eaten by a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the eldest brother, goes to the king, and he says, "My king, I noticed something kind of weird, and I just thought that you should know that just, like, I'm not a gossip or anything.
No.
But I really feel like you need to know this, and, like, I don't want to get in your business, but I just feel like, as your friend, I needed to tell you, you know?"
Where's my favorite boy? This one is the best boy. Too much.
And he tells the king Constantes has a golden ring that he wears on his right hand, and he got it from a dragoness, and it's the most beautiful thing you've ever fucking seen in your life. And I just think, this might be crazy, and tell me if I'm overstepping, but it's the best ring, and I just feel like some fucking guy shouldn't have the best ring. Like, maybe the king should have the best ring.
Wow. Well, he's wrong.
And the king is like, you know what? That is fucked up. It is fucked up. I'm the king. I'm supposed to have the best stuff, and he's out here with the best ring.
What?
My best boy stealing a thing that I should probably have.
Well, now I'm starting to feel like the king maybe isn't the best guy either.
Nobody's good at this story. Everybody's bad.
All right.
And so the king summons Constantes, and he's like, "Hey, what do you have on your hand there?" Constantes is like, "Oh, this is my gold ring. I got it from a dragoness." And the king's like, "Well, it's really nice. And the king should have the nicest stuff." And Constantes is like, "You know what, my liege, you are absolutely right. Please accept this as a gift from me, Constantes, best boy."
Still your favorite.
And he gives the ring to the king, and the king is like, "Well, thank you." And he admires it on himself, and he's like, "Thank you very much. This is why you're my best boy."
I hate him. I hate everyone.
And now Constantes is even more favored by the king than he was before, and the eldest brother is in the background stamping his feet with steam coming out of his ears.
I'm really surprised he didn't sell the ring. I thought he was going to try to get money.
Yeah.
That's what they were after. Nope, he just wanted a fancy ring.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah, I assumed that was going to be his way of being like, well, for wage theft. Like, my wages were stolen from me by this dragon who was going to eat me instead of paying me. So I'm going to steal his ring so that I can sell it so that I get paid.
But no, that's not.
No, he just liked it.
All right. Just a nice, pretty ring.
Yeah, just a nice one. He likes it.
Okay.
So the eldest brother is like, well, shit, that didn't work. The king likes him even more now. I'm still in the same spot. I honestly don't think the king remembers that I was involved in this. So the eldest brother goes to the king again, and he says, "My king, that ring, fabulous.
Woo!
You were so right.
You are
Incredible.
rocking it."
Yeah. Look at that thing. Damn, girl."
Thanks.
I
I got it from the best boy.
Who are you again? The eldest brother says to the king, "Now, you know I don't like to gossip. Like, you know I don't like to gossip. But, again, I'm just looking out for you because we're friends.
Yeah.
So I just feel like you should know that the dragon that Constantes got the ring from, he has this coverlet, like a duvet, like a blanket,
Yeah.
like a bed cover or quilt.
Yeah.
The term
We all know what a blanket is.
The term that they use is a counterpane in the story.
Oh, no, that sounds like a window.
But yeah, it sounds like a window or a counter.
Yeah. It sounds like a window on a counter.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like a counter made of glass.
Yeah.
So, but it means the same thing as like a quilt or a bedspread. He's like, the dragon has a diamond spangled counterpane quilt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And the king's like, oh, that's nice for him. He's like, yeah, but he's just a dragon and you're the king and you should have it. And the king's like, well, sure, but I mean, a dragon owns it. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's worth me going to war with a dragon over it. So I guess if we're like in the area, we'll check it out. But I don't really feel like following up on that right now. I've got other stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm a king.
Yeah.
There's wars.
And the eldest brother says, well, my king, of course, you would not want to spend your own time on it. But my evil little brother, Constantes, has been bragging to all of your men that if he wanted to, he could go and get that fancy blanket anytime.
Classic Constantes.
Classic Constantes. And the king's like, well, if he thinks he's so good at getting stuff for me, why doesn't he go try it?
Yeah.
So he summons Constantes and he says, Constantes, I hear that there's a very fancy diamond blanket that the dragon has. And Constantes is like, yeah, I saw it. It's really fancy. The king's like, okay. And I also heard that you were talking shit about how you could get it any time. So fucking prove it. Go get it for me. I deserve it. I'm your king. Do it now. Constantes is like, my king, you want me to go steal from a dragon? And he's like, yeah, you said you could. So what, are you saying you can't? You saying you suck? You saying you're not the best boy?
Oh my god. My position as best boy.
It's endangered. And Constances is like, I would get it for you if I could, but I don't see any way to do that. And the king's like, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't have been talking shit then, because you are either going to do it, or I'm going to cut off your head.
Okay, well, first of all, this king is not a good friend.
He's not a good friend.
Second of all, why can't Constances be like, I never said that? Ask literally anybody. Unless he has been saying that.
Or, well, he also doesn't want to call his brother a liar necessarily.
I know, his brother's calling him a liar.
He doesn't know that.
Well, then he would if...
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I'd just say, that wasn't me.
It was our middle brother who sucks.
That middle brother does
Joshua.
suck. Oh, Josh.
So, Constantes has no other options, and he sets off out of the city to go figure out how he's going to, I guess, either steal this blanket from the dragon or maybe run away so that he doesn't get his head chopped off by the king.
Yeah.
And he gets outside of the city gates and he gets to the point where he can see the dragon's lair and he's like, I have no idea how to even do this. I'll just die. Like, I'll just die if I have to do this.
I'll just die.
And as he's walking down the road, he passes a very old woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks him where he's going and to do what. Mm-hmm. But what she actually says is, whither you?
Whither?
Yeah.
Whither?
Whither you? Shit. And he...
a directive. And he starts to shrivel up and die.
So she asks him where he's going and why. And he says, I have no idea. The king asked me to do something impossible. Mm-hmm. If I try and do it, I die. If I don't try and do it, he's going to behead me. Unless I can run away from him, but he's the king, and I don't know if I'll actually get away, so I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing.
Turns out being friends with the king, not so fun.
Yeah, maybe bad, actually. Mm-hmm. And the old woman is like, oh, no, like, you're not going to die. I'll help you do this, because that's fucked.
Yeah, whither you? You'll never die. I curse you with immortality.
And you're wrinkly now.
And you shriveled.
She's like, no, that's a ridiculous ask that the king gave you. I'll help you. Mm-hmm. So here's what you're going to do. And she leans in and whispers something into his ear, gives him instructions. And he's like, I see. He goes back to the king and he does what she has told him to do. He goes to the king and he tells the king that he needs a reed full of fleas. A reed, like a hollow stalk of grass.
Okay.
So I'm picturing kind of actually more like a bamboo stalk. So it's like a straw.
Yeah, like a rain stick.
Uh-huh.
So a rain stick full of fleas.
Yeah, a rain stick full of fleas. And chinchilla droppings.
So, like, is he gonna go give the dragon bed bugs? And then, okay. Okay. No, I wouldn't want that coverlet.
Well, it's not for you, is it?
I don't think anybody would want it after that. Go ahead.
The king didn't tell him to bring him back a flea-free coverlet. So the king gives Constantes a reed full of fleas, which I guess he just had.
Yeah.
Constantes carries it to the dragon's lair, and he waits for the dragons to go to bed, and he finds a little hole in the wall on the...
What do you get the king that has everything? Something he couldn't possibly have.
Reed full of fleas?
He's a rain stick full of fleas.
So Constantes finds a little hole that from the outside he can see into the dragon's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes the reed and he unstoppers one end and he threads it through the little hole, and then he dumps all of the fleas out onto the dragon's bed while it's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the little fleas get all over the dragon, and the dragon wakes up and is itchy, and he's like, fleas! Why?
What have I done?
And he's very tired.
Yeah.
And he does not want to fucking deal with this anymore. And like half asleep, the dragon balls up the quilt and chucks it out the window, and he's like, oh, fuck.
That's very
I'm so
smart.
tired.
This is fucking smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the dragon or of Constantes?
Constantes.
Kind of.
That's a smart way to get it.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't throw my blanket out the window.
I definitely would do something like similar. If I was sleeping and then something was like biting, I would just be like, no, I'll deal with this tomorrow, and then like throw it out my door or something like that. I totally would.
Well, you have something in common with the dragon that I don't.
And plus my hot dragon wife.
That too.
Yeah. Who's missing a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the dragon goes back to sleep because he's very, very sleepy.
Yeah, I get it.
Constantes bundles up the diamond coverlet and he throws it over himself like a tent and runs back off home to the king. The dragon wakes up in the morning and he goes to his dragon wife and he says, Mrs. Dragon, can you go outside and get the coverlet? I'm like very cold this morning and there was something like itchy on it last night, so I threw it out the window, but I'm like cold now. Can you go get it for me?
Well.
And she's like, okay. And so she goes outside to the outside of the window and she's like, it's not here. And he's like, what do you mean it's not there? And she's like, it's not here. And he's like, my blanket's gone.
My blanket?
My blanket.
It's probably an heirloom.
It's probably an heirloom.
Ugh. Everybody needs to stop being so mean to this dragon.
And the dragon's like, well, what could have happened to it? And Mrs. Dragon's like, maybe someone stole it. The dragon's like, what? Who would do that? Constantes. And he looks out the window, and far across this very level plain, he sees a single glitter of light,
mm-hmm.
and he looks closer, and he sees two little feet running under it. He's like, it's Constantes! Constantes stole my blankie! And he runs after Constantes. It says that he runs. It doesn't ever say that the dragon flies in this story that I noticed.
Maybe he's not a dragonfly.
Maybe.
He's a dragon run.
He's a sprinter.
Yeah.
He runs after Constantes and he is like, hey, Constantes, come back. Why would you do this? Why are you tricking me so much, Constantes? What have I ever done to you?
Explain yourself.
He says, Constantes, give it back. What trick have you been playing, you dog?
You dog.
You absolute dog.
You dirty dog.
Constantes hollers back over his shoulder. What I have done so far is nothing. Just wait and see what I shall do to you soon.
What? For what?
And unfortunately, he has a pretty significant head start on the dragon, and so he gets back to the king's city,
mm-hmm.
And the dragon is obviously stopped at the gate and has to go back home. Constantes brings the diamond coverlet to the king,
mm-hmm.
and the king is very grateful.
And itchy.
And itchy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He probably shook all the fleas off while he was running.
Yeah, now they're just in his hair.
Yeah, that's fine. He probably already had them there. He's pretty gross. So he brings the coverlet to the king, and he finds himself even more in the king's favor.
Yeah. And I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
I want to retire from being your best boy.
Yeah. It really doesn't seem like being in the king's favor is
a good thing.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Like there's no actual
benefit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like you would get money and like bitches.
True.
But every once in a while he'll like get jealous of you and make you do stuff. Yeah, but you probably have other bling. And the bitches.
So it all evens out. The eldest brother sees this and is once again furious. He goes to the king and he's like, so, Constantes, got that blanket for you. That's nice. You deserve it. Wow, it looks great. Congratulations. But Constantes, he has such a big mouth that, you know, it's a sin to brag. Pride is a sin. I don't know if you know that. And Constantes, ever since he got back, he's been bragging about all the other things that he could do. And I just wanted to tell you, just so that you know, as your friend, I felt like you needed to know. Nobody else will tell you this because they don't like you as much as I like you. But the truth is...
Okay.
Constantes has been going around and saying that the dragon has a silver horse and also a golden bell. And the golden bell has 41 holes in it. And that's how the music gets out of the bell, is through the holes.
Bells don't usually have all those holes, do they?
No. But that's how the music gets out.
Is with the bottom 41... is really all they need.
Yeah. But this one has 41 holes.
Okay.
And that's how the music gets out.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I guess I've never needed anyone to explain to me how bells work, and they've made it so complicated. It's got 41 holes, Janey. What's so complicated? I don't know.
Listen, he's got a silver horse and a bell made of gold with 41 holes in it that the music comes out of.
Do you think it's 41 holes combined? With the horse and the bell?
No. I don't think that.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing in the story that would suggest that.
All right.
I think the horse has the normal number of holes.
40. And the bell has a normal number. 1.
No, it's not combined. Horse has the normal horse number of holes. Bell has 41 holes. I don't know how many that is. I don't know how many holes horses are supposed to have.
4.
Stop counting.
7.
Stop counting.
9? 9 holes.
I'm not gonna go into it with you.
9 horse holes.
Take one down, pass it around.
8 horse holes.
So he says,
is it too niche to name this episode 8 horse holes?
Yes. I don't want that. So Constantes has been going around telling everyone about the cool stuff that this dragon has. And he's like, and I could take him anytime. And, you know, I could take him and give him to the king, but I won't. I'm going to take him and I'm going to keep him for myself. And I'm going to ride around town on the silver horse and I'm going to ring my little golden bell. And everyone will say, wow, look at Constantes. He's even better than the king.
How dare he?
And the king is like, wow, thank you so much for telling me this. That's really, it's fucked up that nobody else would tell me this. But wow, yeah, I mean, I guess just fuck that guy. Like, I really thought we were friends. But
you're not, apparently.
It sucks. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I'm going to go ruin Constantes' day. The eldest brother leaves. The king calls Constantes in.
What is like, the middle brother doing throughout all of this?
Nothing.
Living his goddamn life.
Yeah, he's doing his job.
Yeah.
Unlike the other two of them.
There only needs to be 2 brothers in this story.
Yes, that is absolutely and conclusively true. The middle brother does not do even one thing in the whole story.
Do you think this is what people say about me, Savannah and Junior?
No!
Do you think people are like, there only needs to be 2 siblings?
Why would they say that?
Because they're bitches.
Listen, nobody else will tell you this. I'll tell you this.
Okay.
I'm your friend. The truth is...
You're my best boy. You wouldn't lie to me.
No.
You don't think I'm useless, do you?
No. People are always like, Janey's the most useful one. She shouldn't murder her siblings.
Oh, no. Word? And I have a new thing to worry about.
So, the king calls Constantes and is like, hey, Constantes, my best boy, or so I thought.
Constantes, you need to move.
I heard that you've been going around telling people that you can steal other stuff from the dragon, really cool stuff, like a silver horse and a cool golden bell with 41 holes to let the music out. And Constantes is like, yeah, to let the music out. And the king is like, right.
And also so the horse can eat and breathe and stuff.
He's like, heard you've been telling people that you could steal those and that you would keep them for yourself and not give them to me, the king, your best friend, who deserves all the good stuff.
This king is a bad king.
Yeah.
I know we don't need... I feel like we need to say it at least once. Bad king.
Bad king. Not a good king.
Not a good king.
Definitely only in it for the glory.
And the holes.
And the bling.
I'm in it for the holes.
He's like, so I heard you said that you would keep them for yourself and not even give them to your best friend, the king, me, who deserves everything.
Yeah.
And Constantes is like, well, I don't know where you heard that from, but I don't think that. The king is like, oh, sure, now that you're in front of me, I bet you don't think that. Right. Okay. I know about you. I know about fucking you. There's a whole thing. And Constantes is like, well, I didn't say that, so I don't know what you want me to tell you. And the king is like, okay, but I think you did. So you're going to need to go and get that silver horse and that golden bell with 41 holes for me, the king, because I deserve them. And Constantes is like, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. And the king's like, okay, well then I'm going to cut your fucking head off.
Oh my God.
Constantes is like, okay, I guess I'll go try. Constantes again walks off towards the dragon's lair. He gets outside of the city gates. He's like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. But he has a hunch. He got help before from that old woman. So he goes and he finds her and he's like, hey. And she's like, what's up, Constantes? He's like, king made me do another impossible thing and I'm gonna die. And she's like, no, Constantes, no. What is it? I'll help you. Tell me what it is. And he explains to the old woman the situation. And she's like, oh, Constantes, it'll be fine. I'll tell you what to do and you'll be fine, I promise. And he's like, okay. So she tells him what to do. And he goes back to the king and he asks for the things that she told him to ask for. He asks for 3 pounds of barley sugar and 41 wooden plugs.
Run, horse, run! You're in danger. Oatmeal away. The horse's name is Oatmeal.
Yeah, no, I figured.
Okay, good.
He gets the 3 pounds of barley sugar and 41 wooden plugs. And he sets off for the dragon's lair.
What size plugs? You can't just get plugs.
Bell hole size. Well, you don't know how big a bell's hole is?
I know how big a bell's hole is.
How big is it?
I don't know how big a bell with 41 holes is, or one big hole and then a horse. You know?
Again, the horse is not a part of the 41 holes. The horse has separate holes that are its own business.
Somebody already plugged these holes.
Oh no. Horrifying. Constantes goes to the dragon's lair. He waits until the dragon and his wife are asleep.
Every once in a while, I'm so sorry. Every once in a while, I'm like, at one point, one of my parents is going to be like, I should give Janey's podcast a listen. And every time we record, I'll say something so fucking stupid, and I'll be like, I hope this isn't the week one of my parents decides to listen.
But it's every week.
Every week it's something new. And this week it's how much I'm fixating on horse holes. I really hope this isn't the episode.
So Constantes waits for the dragon and the dragon's wife, who's also a dragon, to fall asleep. And he takes the 3 pounds of barley sugar and he brings them to the horse's stable. And he puts the sugar in front of the horse, and the horse eats the sugar. Good. And that keeps him busy so that he won't be upset when Constantes goes over to the bell with 41 holes, which I guess is nearby, and meticulously
just starts plugging.
Yeah, and he just starts fucking plugging. He
Gentlemen, start your plugging.
Start your plugs. He starts plugging, and he plugs up almost all of the holes. And on the 41st hole, his finger slips. I said it, and then I heard it, and I'm really not liking what I'm hearing.
Yes.
I would like to retract my earlier statement. He plugs up 40 of the holes, and then he begins to plug the 41st hole, but the plug slips out of his hand and into the hay at the bottom of the horse stable. And it's dark, and he casts around looking for it. He, turns over the hay and everything, but he can't find it. And he's like, okay, well, 1/41st of the amount of sound that a bell makes isn't that bad.
Put your finger in it. Carry it on your finger.
No, Janey.
Why not?
You think he could plug up a bell hole with his finger? You really don't know how big bell holes are.
I guess I don't.
You think a finger would fit in the bell hole?
Like a little boy with his finger in the dike, but
Nope.
the little Greek man.
Nope. We're gonna take it back 10, 15 seconds to before you said that.
That's the name of the story.
Nope. So he's like, it's fine. Like a 41st of the amount of sounds that a bell can make is probably fine, and I don't feel like fucking with this anymore. So he takes the mostly plugged bell, and he goes over to the horse, who has finished most of the barley sugar and is feeling really wired. He saddles up the horse, and he rides off to the king's castle. As he's riding, the bell is mostly silent, but 1/41th of the time that it would normally make a sound, it makes a little dinging sound.
Oh.
You know how bells and odds work?
Ding.
Yeah, exactly. And the dragon wakes from his sleep.
Wow, that would not wake me up.
No. Someone riding a horse and a bell ringing so quietly, so far away. But it wakes up the dragon because he knows the sound of his favorite golden bell with 41 holes. And he wakes up and he's like, honey, I think someone's stealing my bell. And Mrs. Dragon is like, why would someone steal your bell? That's stupid. No one's stealing your bell. He's like, okay, all right.
Oh my god, Terrence, stop talking about the bell. It's tearing us apart.
He's like, okay. And then he like starts to go back to sleep, and then the bell tinkles again far in the distance, and the dragon shoots up and he's like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm sure that time that was the sound of my golden bell with 41 holes, almost as though 40 of the holes have been stuffed with wooden plugs. And the sound was as though someone is holding it while riding on my silver horse.
What sick son of a bitch would do this?
And his wife is like, honey, that's crazy. Nobody's stealing your bell with 41 holes and also your silver horse. Who would do that?
Indeed.
And the dragon's like, all right, okay. He starts to go back to sleep. And then he hears one final tinkle. And he's like, well, no, I know for sure. And she's like, who would do that? Who would do that to you? And
Okay,
he's like,
she's wrong. It's Constantinople. Constantes.
And he shoots out of bed and he runs off into the night after the faint sound of 1/41st of a tinkling. And he calls out after Constantes and he's like, what is this new trick that you're doing? Why are you stealing all of my things, you dog? You absolute dog.
You have no reason to keep coming here.
Stop stealing my shit.
You have to move, dragon.
You have to move.
That's upsetting.
And Constantes calls back over his shoulder, what I have done so far is nothing. Wait and see what I shall do to you soon.
It's wild that we've already had him do this 3 times.
Yeah.
He's coming back for a 4th?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this story breaks the rule of 3s.
That's
Pretty
groundbreaking.
Yeah, honestly, who's ever done it in the
He
game
might
before?
be the best boy.
He certainly is persistent.
Yes.
And felonious.
And a pervert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's weird about bells. So Constantes goes to the king. He brings him this fancy silver horse and this golden bell. And the king is like, thank you. It's what I deserve. Good job, Constantes. My best boy. Even better than before. Mm-hmm. And the king takes all the little plugs out of the golden bell. And he rides the silver horse through the streets of the king's city, ringing his little golden bell. And everyone says, wow. He does deserve it.
What a dork.
Yeah. Like, everyone come out and look at me on my horse with my bell. Guess how many holes are in it?
40?
You stupid fucking idiot.
Aw. That's why you make the big bucks, my lord.
So the king likes Constantes even more now. Mm-hmm. And the eldest brother is not willing to stand for this. He goes to the king and he's like, okay, well, this time Constantes is saying that he, if he wanted to, he could bring you the whole dragon. The whole dragon. He could get him and he could bring him to you as a gift. And the king's like, why would I want a dragon?
Yeah,
and
the dragon's not allowed in here.
We don't want dragons
We're not
in the
going to
city.
bring him in
There are
here.
signs everywhere. Dragons need not apply.
You stupid.
And the eldest brother is like, no, you would have him for display to show people how cool and strong and hot you are.
Rude.
Yeah, he's like, you could show everyone that you're the coolest and the best, and you could be like, look, here's my dragon.
Wow.
And the king's like, you know what? That would actually be rad as fuck. You are right.
No.
That would be really cool.
Uh-oh.
And the eldest brother is like, okay, yeah, so go tell Constantes to go do it. And the king's like, all right, yeah, sure. Yeah, could be fun to have a dragon. All right. And he summons Constantes to him, and Constantes is like, my lord, please.
Why would either of them want to be friends with each other?
Well, the king wants to be friends with Constantes because he keeps bringing him cool shit.
That's true. If I was
And also,
I would
this
move.
whole time he's been behind his back bragging about how he could steal the cool shit.
That's true.
And have it for himself. So, like...
If I was Constantes, I would be like,
now they're competition.
I really don't want to be, like, friends with the king anymore.
Yeah. Constantes should leave.
He should leave. He should move. He and the dragon need to reconcile and then move somewhere.
Together.
I don't think the dragon would like that. I feel bad for the dragon.
Yeah, I also feel bad for the dragon.
Yeah.
And Constantes is like, my lord, what is it that I can do for you? And the king is like, well, your brother said that you were talking about how you could go kidnap the dragon and bring him to me. And Constantes is like, why would you want a dragon? The king's like, to display, to show everyone how cool and hot and strong I am. And Constantes is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well, I didn't say that. And the king's like, I don't care. I'm going to cut off your head. Bring me a dragon.
He needs to kill his brother. At this point, he knows his brother is starting shit constantly.
Constantes is like, okay. And he sets off once again. He gets outside of the walls of the city. He goes to his friend, the old lady who helps him with everything. Yeah. Even though he's never done a fucking thing for her.
Seriously, what does she have to do with him? Why does she care?
Nothing. And he's like, I really don't know how to bring a live dragon to the king. And she's like, okay, here's what you're going to do. And she sends him back to the king with a supply list, as before. She tells him to get a hatchet, a saw, an awl, a pound of nails, 4 ropes, a tattered old suit, and a false beard. At last.
Okay, we're at the fake beard part of the story, guys. Buckle up!
So he requests this very specific supply list from the king. He gets it. He puts on the fake beard and the tattered old robe, and he goes up to the dragon's lair, and he makes sure he's within earshot of the dragon's cave, and he starts chopping down trees.
Chopping down trees.
He starts chopping down trees.
Oh, CDT.
CDT.
Oh, you guys doing a little CDT over here? Yeah, me too. That's cool. Also chopping down trees. Don't worry, I plant a new one for everyone I chop down.
What?
Well, they're environmentalists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're dragon killers, but they're not monsters.
ECOCDT. He starts chopping down trees, and the dragon comes out, and he's like, hey, what you doing? Chopping down all my trees. And the lumberjack, the dragon's never seen before in his life, tattered old suit, robe, fucking beard.
A lumberjack wearing a suit.
Yeah, tattered suit.
Yeah, like a businessman on hard times.
Yeah. Businessman who's been in the woods for a long time.
Why not dress him like a lumberjack? Why put him
I think that's what lumberjacks dress like in this.
Why... Are they all just, like, failed Wall Street, like, investment bankers?
There are many meanings to the word suit, but I do like to believe it's a 3-piece suit that he's been wearing in the woods.
He had a little mentee bee, and he ended up traveling to the woods and just cutting down trees.
We all talk about how we're going to quit our jobs and become one with nature, but you know what? He really did it. No steps in the middle.
That's the Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh my god. So the dragon's like, why are you chopping down all my trees? And the lumberjack says to the dragon, oh, well, I'm a lumberjack / coffin builder.
Oh.
And I've been sent here to chop down these trees to get wood to make a coffin for a man, you may have heard of him. His name is Constantes.
Oh.
And the dragon is like, well, sorry, I'm actually going to read this verbatim. The dragon says, the dog. Is he dead at last? And time he was. Here, let me help.
Oh, no.
He's so thrilled that Constantes is finally dead that he goes around and he starts just ripping trees out by the roots because he's a big old dragon.
Yeah, but like Constantes is a tiny guy. He probably only needs the one tree dragon.
No, he's ripping out trees. It's fine.
Okay.
So they get together a big old bushel of trees, and the lumberjack is like, wow, fantastic, thank you. And he's like, well, you know what, let me keep helping you. And the dragon helps him to turn it into wood planks and then build it into a coffin, like a very large coffin, right? Because he chopped down too many trees.
Yeah.
And the lumberjack looks at it and he goes, I don't know if this is going to be big enough for Constantes. And the dragon's like, Constantes is so small, and this is so big. I am sure that it will be big enough. And he's like, I don't know, I just wish I had some kind of, like, metric or, like, some kind of way to see, like, how big a person would have to be to fit inside the coffin. And the dragon's like, I mean, this is a huge coffin. I could probably fit in the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, well, fucking prove it then. So the dragon climbs into the coffin. He's like, see, I have enough room in here. I'm a big old dragon. This is definitely big enough for Constantes. And the lumberjack is like, well, yeah, but the lid's not on. So let me just make sure that you still fit in it with the lid on. The dragon's like, okay, fine. So Constantes takes the lid of the coffin, puts it on there, and then really quickly hammers the lid in. And he ties the 4 ropes around the coffin. And the dragon's like, what are you doing? And he's like, don't worry about it.
This same plot happens on Friends to Joey.
Really?
Yes. Their whole apartment gets robbed because Joey climbs into a cabinet to prove he can fit in it.
Joseph. And Constantes ties the coffin to the back of his horse, and he rides his horse all the way back to the king's city with the coffin bumping along behind.
Can the dragon not breathe fire?
Mm-hmm.
It can. I feel
not
like
my
he can't
business.
get out of here. Well, seems like the dragon might be a guy.
Yeah. I was going to say this later, but there's really no reason for this dragon to be a dragon.
Yeah,
in
there's
this
no
story.
reason for
He's
the
not
middle
done...
brother, and there's no reason for it to be a dragon. Could just be like a guy.
Yeah, it could just be a guy.
No guys allowed.
Usually I feel like it would be like a giant or something like that. This
right?
is much more of a giant story than
Like
a
a
dragon
troll.
story. Yeah. Yes. But Constantes drags this coffin behind his horse. He gets all the way up to the entryway to the king's castle, and he deposits the coffin in the, like, king's yard.
Mm-hmm.
And the king is like, oh, fantastic. You brought me the dragon. That's perfect. Thank you so much. And the eldest brother is like, okay, but...
No! Kill him!
But is the dragon wearing his fancy little hat? And Constantes is like, what the fuck, man? What's going on? And the king's like, a fancy little hat, you say? And the eldest brother's like, yes, the dragon has a ruby crown. I've seen it. And, I mean, if he's not wearing his fancy little ruby crown, it won't even be that impressive that you've captured a dragon. So I just feel like maybe Constantes should go back and get the ruby crown, and then everyone will know how cool and strong and hot you are, my liege.
Kill this brother.
And the king's like, all right, Constantes, you heard what the man said. You gotta go get the fucking ruby crown from the dragon. And Constantes is like, I brought you
The whole
a dragon. The king's like, I don't care. He's not good enough for me unless he's got his fancy little hat on.
Oh my god.
So Constantes turns back around, walks back out. He goes to his friend, the old woman, and he's like, I gotta get the dragon's crown.
I gotta get out of here.
I guess. The old woman's like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. And she writes a note. She forges in the dragon's handwriting a note from the dragon to his wife. And the note basically says, my beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Who is a dragon.
Yeah.
I am also a dragon. You're my wife.
Us two
Mrs.
dragons. Don't even worry about it. This is how we start our letters.
Please take this man who has delivered this letter, roast him alive for me for dinner.
What?
But also, just so you know, this is Constantes, that little scamp who's been stealing all of our shit. And I just know that this little fucker is after my ruby crown this time. So, in order to make sure that he doesn't steal the crown while you're making a soup out of him, you should put the crown on, but then he'll see it. And so he can't see it. So what you should do is put the crown on and then wrap it up in like a towel or like a rag so that he can't see it and it doesn't get dirty, but you know where it is because it's on your head.
Okay.
And then he can't steal it and you can roast him and we can eat him. I love you, XOXO, Mr. Dragon.
Well, that is how they sign off in the letters. This is foolproof so far. I see no flaws.
So she gives the letter to Constantes. Constantes goes to Mrs. Dragon in her lair. She, again, answers the door, wearing her little apron. She's like, hi, Constantes. What can I do for you? And he's like, your husband asked me to bring you this letter. And he gives her the letter, and she reads the letter very slowly. It does make a point to be like, this dragon does not read quickly. She's a little slow.
Okay. A little slow. She wants to take in every word, make sure that she's not making a mistake this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she reads the letter, and she's like, oh, okay. I see. Well, Constantes, thank you for delivering this letter. Would you like to come inside while I make some dinner? As Mr. Dragon has requested, he's asked me to make some pies, normal pies, if you want to come hang out with me while I do it. And you can have some. Mm-hmm. And then you can leave.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Sounds good.
Constantes is like, absolutely, I will come in. And he comes in to the dragon's lair, and she starts heating up the stove. Mm-hmm. She stokes the oven and everything, and she starts preparing all of the ingredients for a people pie.
Oh.
Yeah.
People pie.
People pie. It actually sounds kind of good.
A people pie?
Not
Max?
the people part.
What?
Just like a really nice savory meat pie sounds weirdly good
a
right
pot
now.
pie.
Yeah.
And people pot pie.
Or a cottage pie. Or shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
Some kind of
pie.
Yeah. Like a savory meat pie. I think that's what I want. It's so hot in here. I don't know why I want that, but I really want that right now. She starts preparing all of the ingredients, and he sits on a bench by the stove with his little feet kicking because it's much too tall for him. And she's like, can you watch to make sure this is heating up, and I'll be right back. And he's like, okay. So she goes to the other room. She finds the ruby crown. She puts it on her head. She wraps it up in a rag. So she knows it's on her head, but it's also in a rag. So he can't see it. He can't steal it.
Okay, but
Foolproof.
She comes out wearing a dish rag that's shaped like a crown.
Uh-huh.
All right.
She comes back, and Constantes is like, oh, you have a rag on your head. Is that to keep from the ashes from the oven getting on your head? And she's like, yes. Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And he's like, oh, that's clever. That's smart. And she's like, yes, it is. And she's like, all right, so how am I going to get him into the oven?
Just pick him up.
No, Janey, that's rude.
I can pick him up, put him in the pie.
So
first you gotta get him naked. Seduce him.
I don't know where to start with that one, I'll be honest.
We'll just read what it says.
So she comes up with a very clever plan to get Constantes into the oven.
Okay.
She says, oh, Constantes, I am an old dragon, and my eyes are not what they used to be. And it's so bright because it's daytime. And I'm looking at this oven, and I can't tell whether it's hot yet because I can't see whether it's glowing or not yet. So, because of the sunlight. So, can you take the big shovel, like the pizza shovel, you know, like at a pizza oven, you have a shovel?
Yeah.
Just like, can you take that and hold it so that it shades the oven so I can see inside to see how red the coals are so that I know whether it's hot enough for pies? And he's like,
what?
Sure. And he takes the big pizza shovel and he tries to pick it up and then very dramatically can't do it. And then he tries to pick it up from the other side and he can't do it. And he's like, I just don't know how to do this. Can you show me? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And so she picks up the shovel and she's like, so you hold it like this. And then she leans over to show him like how he can see inside the oven now.
Yeah.
And he pushes her into the oven and he slams the door.
What about the crown?
And he grabs the crown from her head.
Okay.
Before he slams the door.
I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
He grabs the crown, throws her into the oven, closes the door, runs away.
He just fucking murders this married couple. They've been married for so long.
Yes, hundreds of years.
So sad.
Yes. And he runs and runs and runs back off to the king's castle. He gets in and he's like, here's the stupid fucking hat. And the king is like, oh, thank you. The dragon's gonna look so nice with his little hat on.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, but his wife is dead? So sad.
And Constantes is like, yes, he will look so nice. And you know what? Since this was all my brother's idea, I think he should get credit for putting on this incredible display. In fact, I think that my oldest brother should be the one to open the coffin and show everyone this incredible dragon that I got. And your oldest brother's like, no.
No.
I don't want to do that. And Constantes is like, too bad. I heard you talking shit earlier about how you could do it. The oldest brother is like, oh no. And the king's like, you heard him.
He uses my magic against me.
No. It doesn't actually say that in the story that that's the reasoning Constantes uses, but I think it's funny.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the king's like, all right, eldest brother, who doesn't have a name, get over there and show me the dragon. And the eldest brother can't come up with an excuse. He goes over to the coffin. He pries open the coffin lid. The dragon bursts out, hyperventilating, claustrophobic, very stressed, looks around, sees nobody close by except for the eldest brother, in a panic, eats the eldest brother,
Yeah.
and then looks around at everyone and runs away. And nobody stops him because he's a dragon.
Yeah.
And he runs all the way home.
Where he sees that his wife is all cooked up in the oven.
Janey.
I'm so sad.
He runs all the way back home and he looks around and he looks and looks for his wife and he cannot find her. And then he smells something scorching in the stove. And he opens up the oven and inside he sees his wife and all of her little scales are melting off and she's crying.
Oh, she's still alive though. Yay!
Yeah. And he scoops her up out of the oven and he carries her down to a lake that's nearby and the two of them jump into the lake to help cool her off and they settle at the bottom of the lake and nobody ever saw them again.
Good.
And they lived there forever.
Good.
The end.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, that middle brother did not need to be in the story.
Did not need to be. Literally did not do even
That's
one
the biggest
thing.
middle child syndrome I've ever seen.
Literally all he did was a little bit of corn
He was born.
and went to bed.
Good night. I've also done a little bit of corn. Gone to bed. Corn is what they call porn on TikTok.
Yeah.
He did a little bit of corn. Unalive to dragon.
Oh. Canceled. Yeah. What did you think of that story?
Okay, so they did still follow the rules because it's the rule of 3 or it's the rule of 5. So you can't have just 4 things. So I did appreciate that there was 5 things. A little worried when you went past 3 that you wouldn't go up to 5. That being said, it does make me appreciate the rule of 3s.
5 is a lot.
5 is a lot
of things to happen.
5 is a lot. At a certain point, you just start blaming Costanzas. You're like, you should really...
Costanza, George Costanza.
What's his name?
Constantes.
Constantes. You start blaming...
One more time?
Constantes. You start blaming him for not getting rid of his brother earlier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A lot of things in the story simply do not make sense. Like we said, there's no reason for the dragons to be dragons.
There's also no reason for that old woman to be there.
No.
She never gets anything out of this.
No.
We never figure out, like, what her relationship is. If he was, like, teaming up with a witch of the woods, that would make more sense. If he was, like, bringing her offerings and she was giving him information, that would make more sense. Yeah.
But no, she just was helping him and he
These didn't need to be dragons,
do
for sure.
anything for her. It also, like... What happens after the end of this story? Constante still is in the king's court. He's still the favorite.
He
has another brother who I guess could decide to also try and betray him.
He doesn't seem to have a goal.
No.
There's nothing like he's gaining. The reason why the story of Molly Whoopi works so well is because she is brave and she keeps going back. It's the same, setup where a king is still sending her back to this giant slayer. But at the end of it, like, she has a goal. She's like, I'll do this if you marry my sister. And then the next one is, I'll do this one if you marry my second sister. And then the third one, she gets all these riches. And then the brother who tasked her with it marries her. I'm like, that makes sense. There's a clear reason why she's doing stuff. And it makes her more clever because she's not just being tricked each time.
Yes.
Costanza.
George Costanza.
He doesn't fucking... He has no agency in this story at all, except at the beginning.
Yeah. Also, just to return to the beginning for a moment, who just walks up to a cornfield and is like, I'm going to start doing stuff and assume that someone will pay me for it?
What's the lesson of the story? Is the lesson don't reap without a contract?
I feel like the lesson is don't let your brother talk to the king alone.
Definitely don't trust your brother.
Yeah. And also kind of don't fuck over your brother because he got eaten.
I mean, yeah, but it took him so long to get eaten. He never got anything out of it either.
Maybe the lesson is like the dragon shouldn't have tried to get George Costanza eaten.
You think...
And now... it's just...
Yeah.
This is just kind of a series of things that happens. This isn't really like
This is literally just a series of things that happens. And it's weird that the king never gets punished.
No.
Huh.
That's realistic, though.
That is... You know what? At the end of the day, we're all cogs in the machine. The machine is owned by big government. Okay.
Big government.
All right, Max. Well,
I blame it all on big government.
BG. Cool. Do you want to take a little break?
Yeah.
It's so hot in here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break and then we'll be right back and I'll tell you a story. How about that?
All right.
Okay. Bye. Okay, Max.
Hi, Janey.
Hello. I'd like to thank you for looking at my teeth.
To make sure, it would be so embarrassing if we recorded this whole podcast episode and all of the listeners were like, oh my god, there's something in Janey's teeth.
Yeah, you guys would notice. So my story today is going to come from the Virago Book of Witches, edited by Shahrukh Hussain. You will know the series as being part of the Virago Book of Folk Tales?
Yeah.
Fairy Tales, the second of which was edited by Angela Carter and finished by Shahrukh Hussain. So,
very cool.
Yeah, buddies. I'll go into it at the end a little bit, but very fun book. And the story I'm going to tell you is from Breton, Breton.
Breton?
Yes. And it is called The Four Gifts. And the first sentence is, in the old land of Brittany, once called Cornwall, there lived a woman named Barbaik Borges, who spent all her days looking after her farm with the help of her niece, Tiffany.
Always wild that Tiffany is like a very, very, very old name.
Well, and this one is T-E with the asterisk P-H-A-N-Y. So it's like Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Okay, so we have this woman, Barbaik. Mm-hmm. She has a farm. She runs it with her niece, Tiffany.
Just a weird little bit. This story is Breton, which is a background, kind of like the Celts, basically. Mm-hmm. They were one of the really predominant groups of people who were conquering lands around the same time as the Celts. I think maybe a little earlier or later. Most of this is probably going to be wrong. But the Bretons are the reason why Great Britain is called Great Britain. They're also why there's a region of France called Brittany, or Bretagne, because that's the areas where the Britons were. And they both, after they were reconquered, the areas both kept their names.
Nice. So the two, Barbaik and Tiffany, worked from sunup until sundown. They milked cows, they churned butter, they fed fowls, and the more they worked, the more Barbaik became obsessed with making money. The story was like, she should have gotten a hobby. All she did was think about money. And it soon became the only thing that she cared about. She began to hoard money, and she only bought the absolute necessities for herself and Tiffany. And she also started to hate the poors.
Sure. She's on that fucking grind set.
Even though they are still peasants, and they look like peasants because she refuses to, like, take care of them, basically. Yeah. So one day, when she saw Tiffany chatting it up with a young and handsome day laborer named Dennis... Mm-hmm. She was pissed because Dennis was a friggin' nobody. Disgusting. She immediately marched up and she grabbed her niece by the arm and she dragged her off and she yelled, quote, "Are you not ashamed, girl, to waste your time over a man who is as poor as a rat when there are a dozen more who would be only too happy to buy you rings of silver if you would let them?" He's a rat, that Dennis.
Classic Dennis.
Dennis and Tiffany.
I'm rewatching some of True Blood and this reminds me of Mrs. Fortenberry.
Yeah.
Hoyt's mom.
Yeah.
It's like the worst kind of person who's in a bad situation and looks at other people who are in a bad situation and are like, you guys are fucking disgusting.
Who wants desperately to look down on people.
Yeah. But from the same position, they are looking down on people while being in the same position as them and like, making excuses for like, they're all lazy. Truly. I have obviously been through unfortunate circumstances that have put me where I am, but I deserve to be much better off. They deserve because they're lazy and
truly
stupid.
A disgusting type of human.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of anybody genuinely that I want to hang out with less.
Yeah.
So Tiffany tried to tell her aunt that Dennis was fine. He's
fine.
He's okay. He's not that bad. He's not a rat. Dennis was actually saving his money, and he was like wanting to one day like own his own farm and stuff like that. So like she's like he's working towards a goal, and he's I don't know, he's still young. Like Leave him alone. But her aunt only laughed and said it would take Dennis his whole life to raise that kind of money. And Tiffany countered with, what does fortune matter when one is young and strong? And that really threw Barbeck for a loop. She was like, who the fuck cares about that? He's not rich now. So she called Tiffany an idiot, and she forbade her from ever talking to Dennis again. And then she sent her off to wash the laundry and think about what she did. And so Tiffany went down to the river with angry tears in her eyes, and she's like muttering the entire way. And at one point she looked at the river rocks and she's like, ugh, my aunt's head is harder than those rocks. Because even the rocks can be like shaped by the river eventually, but no matter how hard I cry, my aunt will never listen to reason.
No matter how long I hold my aunt's head under the river,
it'll still be
she
hard.
She has never changed her mind.
Doesn't mean I can't try. So she's in the middle of telling no one that Dennis was the only person in the world who could ever possibly make her happy when she suddenly heard the tap of a stick. Yeah, because she's in the forest, so.
Have I been sending you the Stick Nation videos on Instagram?
No.
Oh my god, there's this account. I think it's just called Stick Nation, and it's people submit videos of them finding sticks and then talking about what's good about that stick. It's really good.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. There was one today. A guy found like this really big long stick. It was like probably like 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah.
Diameter, circumference. No, diameter. No. Yes, diameter. And it had like, it was like a little bit twisted and then it had like a point on one end. He was like, so this is like a really good stick. I think that the main thing that this would be good for is like as a spear, but you could also use it as a walking stick because it's like tall enough that you could do it like that. Yeah. But I think the best thing would be like, there was like some kind of guy you could just, with the stick. So.
Violent.
Pretty good stick. But there are other ones where people find like a little stick and they're like, I found this little stick. I like it because it looks like a bug.
I have definitely like felt emotionally attached to sticks I found.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
you just find a good stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's universal. That's good.
Yeah, and it's really nice to me to look at videos of people experiencing their good stick and explaining what's good about it because they are right 100% of the time. I feel the same way about every one of the sticks that those people present to me as they feel about it, and it makes me feel like I am a part of the human experience. I've never felt more kinship with my fellow man than hearing someone explain what is good about a good stick and agreeing with them.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So she heard the tap of a stick, and she like looked up really quickly from where she was washing the clothes, and she saw standing before her a tiny old lady
with a good big stick.
With a big stick, yeah, that she used as a spear. She speared her right through the head. Ah. Anyway, after getting over her initial shock of seeing a stranger in the woods, Tiffany was like, "Oh, Granny, do you want to like sit down and rest for a bit? Like, are you just walking here alone?" And she pushed aside her bundle of clothes and like made room for her to sit. And the old woman said, quote, "When the sky is all the roof you have, you rest where you will." And Tiffany is like, "It is nice," except that she's like, "I'm homeless."
No, I mean, I guess.
No, not great. Tiffany was like, "Oh, don't you have any friends that could take you in?" And the old woman sighed and was like, "All my friends are dead." She was like, "Uh-oh." She's like, "Now I just rely on the kindness of strangers to get me through." And at this point, Tiffany was like, "Okay." And she like dug in her bag and she brought out like a small loaf of bread and some bacon, which is what she was going to have for lunch. And she's like, "Well, here, at least you'll eat good tonight. So take my lunch." And the old woman smiled at her and was like, "People who do good things should have good things happen for them." So then she said, quote, "Your eyes are still red because that miser Barbeck has forbidden you to speak to the young man from Plover. But cheer up, you are a good girl, and I will give you something that will enable you to see him once every day."
Only once?
I don't know. At least once a day.
It sounds like there could be a problem.
Then she gave Tiffany a long copper pin. All she had to do was stick it into her dress, and Barbeck would have to leave the house to go count her cabbages.
Classic copper pin of count your cabbages.
That's the copper pin that'll help you count your cabbages.
It'll make you count your cabbages.
You must. Don't count your cabbages before you pin. As long as the pin was in her dress, her aunt would stay outside. And when she put the pin back in its little case, her aunt would come home. And then the old lady stood, nodded at her, and disappeared.
Oh.
And so Tiffany was like, "Holy fuck, I think it was a fairy." And then she like scrubbed the rest of her clothes as fast as she could and then hurried home. She would have thought that she had dreamt the whole thing had she not still had the pin in her pocket. Uh-huh. So the next morning, when Dennis showed up at their usual meeting place behind the cow house, which is where they met.
I feel like there's got to be a better word for it than cow house.
Cow house. thinking of the Heifer Hut
Barn?
Oh, barn. That's what I said, too. So when she saw Dennis show up at the Heifer Hut, Tiffany stuck the pin in her dress, and she was delighted when Barbank suddenly stood up and announced that she was going to count her cabbages. And then the woman went through the orchard, past the fields, and all the way to the plot where the cabbages grew, which I think is too far away from their house. But yeah, that's just me.
What would happen if they didn't have cabbages?
She'd find cabbages. At that, Tiffany ran from her house, and she spent the evening happily with Dennis. And they did this for many days after. Yeah, to me, I'm like, you're setting up like a teenager to hang out alone with a boy all night? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like that's how you get pregnant. But eventually, Tiffany realized something horrible. They were running out of things to talk about.
Oh, I really thought you were going to say they were running out of cabbages.
No, her aunt would just keep counting them. Dennis had originally been really happy to spend hours with her because he liked to talk. He would tell her stories. He would teach her stuff. He taught her all of the songs that he knew. But eventually he ran out of songs. And he got bored. Quote, for he, like a great many other people, was fond of talking himself, but not of listening to anyone else. End quote.
So true.
Sometimes Dennis didn't show up at all. And when he would come back, he would lie to her and be like, oh, I had to do something. He's a bad liar. So day by day, she grew sadder and sadder until one evening when he didn't show up again at all. And so she sadly lifted a water pot to her shoulder and she slowly went down to the spring to like fill up the pot and be sad by herself.
Has she been drinking water at all the rest of the time?
She was getting so thirsty. There, on the path, she saw the fairy again. And she told the fairy that Dennis had grown tired of her already, and she realized that it wasn't enough to see him, like, to have time to see him. She needed a way to amuse him and to keep him interested, and he was so clever, and she wanted to be clever, because obviously he was bored of her. So the fairy was like, okay, I'll help you again, and she handed her a feather. And she told her to stick it in her hair so she'd be wise.
Counterpoint. Go find Dennis. Give him a little tickle. He will be entertained for hours.
Stop! I love my tickly girlfriend. So Tiffany went home and she stuck the feather into the blue ribbon that girls in that part of the country typically wear. You know, that blue ribbon. And then she heard Dennis come like whistling up to her house. And so she stuck the pin in her dress to send her aunt away. And then she hurried out to meet Dennis. Quote, the young man was struck dumb by her talk. There was nothing that she did not seem to know, and as for songs, she could not only sing those from every part of Brittany, but could compose them herself. So she just went out talking, and then just continued to talk about every subject like she was spouting from an encyclopedia, and then just started singing songs in different languages, and he's like, oh, wow, what the fuck?
That's just us. On the podcast.
That is us. That's us, just random people.
That's us in our daily lives.
Yeah. This doesn't change, guys. This behavior doesn't change when we're around other people.
No, we're yappers.
We talk. So Dennis began to wonder if she was possessed. But he did come back night after night. Because he was like, I wonder what she's going to do today.
I want to see how this plays out.
But she only seemed to grow wiser and more chatty. Eventually, neighbors started to whisper about her too, because Tiffany was unable to resist sticking the feather in her hair whenever she talked to anyone, because now she was like kind of addicted to feeling smart. And then she started to make mean jokes about people who had previously judged like her poor clothes and stuff. And so she would stick the feather in her cap and just absolutely roast them. Which is how I would use this power, I'm not gonna lie.
God, that's really, really good.
And eventually she got a reputation for being kind of a bitch.
I'm trying to think what I would do with a feather that makes you smart and you know everything. And what I would do, personally, is I would find a bunch of know-it-all men.
Yeah.
And ruin their day.
I just feel like it doesn't give you social skills. Like you seem to lose all your social skills.
Yeah, that's fine.
So she just fucking walks in
I
and
just want them to know that they're dumb.
Chats. I don't know. I feel like they'd be like, we gotta get away from this weirdo. We don't know her.
Yeah, but I'm smarter than them.
I mean, I feel like they wouldn't give you a chance to prove it. They'd be so busy trying to like lock themselves in their home.
I would know how to pick locks.
That's true. That's true.
I would embarrass them in front of all of their friends.
Yeah. in their house that you broke into. Classic.
Take that.
Everyone said of her, quote, "She is an ill-natured little cat, and the man that marries her will find that it is she who will hold the reins and drive the horse." End quote.
That's what the reins are for.
And of course, this all got back to Dennis, and he didn't like this idea at all. He's like, first of all, I hold the reins, and I drive the horse.
I wear the horse pants.
I'm wearing those horse's pants.
That horse is my girlfriend.
I'm covering all my holes. So he began to spend less time with her. And one day, he came to Tiffany and was like, hey, I can only stay for a moment. I promised I'd go to a dance in, like, the next village over. And Tiffany was devastated. She's like, oh my god, you're only going to that dance because you want to see Azalis of Penenru. That's the only reason why you want to be there, isn't it? Because she's smart, you know, so she knows. Azalis was the prettiest girl for miles around, and she and Dennis happened to have known each other since they were children. So they were friends.
Yeah. That's fine.
And Dennis saw that she was jealous, and he kind of liked that because, I don't know, I think he's just been getting kind of like bowled over for the past couple days. And so he's like, all right, well, this is fine. And so because he feels like he's getting the upper hand again, he was like, yeah, I'm going because of Azalis. Who wouldn't want to travel for a couple miles to watch her dance? Pretty good, huh? Anyway, bye. And Tiffany screamed, well, go then! And then she ran aside and slammed the door and just, like, threw herself on the couch and cried. And angry girl rock started playing on her stereo.
Yeah.
So she sat by the fire, lonely and miserable. And she ripped the feather out of her hair, and then she put her face in her hands, and she cried and cried and cried. And she asked nobody at all, quote, what is the use of being clever when it is beauty that men want? That is what I ought to have asked for. But it is too late. Dennis will never come back. And at this moment, what?
He's going to come back.
He might come back. He's just going to a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this moment, she heard someone next to her say, since you wish it so much, you shall have beauty. And she jumped and turned, and she saw the old woman leaning on her walking stick next to the fire. Now she's in her house. Scary.
This feels like a lot of wishes to grant for what is just a bee. A BLT without the LT. Just a bee.
She's just a bee.
Just a bee.
The woman gave Tiffany a necklace that, when clasped around her neck, would make her the most beautiful woman in the world. The bacon's the best part of the BL. Are you just gonna come for an LT? I don't think so.
Yes.
Maybe.
Would.
No.
Sounds pretty fine. This is something that I feel like we've talked about before, but anytime that someone grants a gift, and rather than just granting the gift as like an inherent trait, they give them an item that grants the thing on them.
Yeah.
Like, why though?
Maybe so that they can choose to take it off.
I guess.
Yeah.
But like, wouldn't it make more sense to be like, okay, you can be pretty and you can turn it on and off at will?
I don't know.
It's just, it always bothers me in stories.
Like she has a little
feels
light
contrived.
switch on her rib cage that she turns off and on.
No, just like she can will herself to like.
Oh, maybe this fairy doesn't have those types of powers. She can give you an enchanted object. She can't change your biology. A scientist.
But the necklace can change your biology.
Yeah.
That she enchanted.
Yeah. I feel like this makes sense.
It always just feels contrived to me.
So Tiffany shrieked with joy. Shrieked? It does not sound like the right word. It should be like shruck. She shrucked with joy. Tiffany shrieked with joy and immediately put the necklace on, and she raced to a mirror, and suddenly she was not afraid of stupid Azalis anymore. There was no one in the whole world who was more beautiful than she was now. So she put on her best dress and shoes, and then she hurried off to go to that dance and show what the fuck his name is, Dennis, what he was missing.
I was going to say David.
White guy name.
Yeah.
While she was walking, however, she passed a beautiful carriage with a young man seated inside of it. And he stopped and was like, I've never seen anyone more beautiful in my life. He started catcalling her from the window, and she was like, uh-oh, well, I'm not interested. And he's like, no, you're so beautiful. I would never accept anybody less to be my bride. And at this point, the carriage was so wide that it was completely blocking the path that she was walking on. So she was kind of forced to stop and stay where she was. But she looked at the young man with disdain, and she told him to go on his way and let her go on hers. She was a poor peasant girl, and she wasn't interested. She's like, you don't want me, I have no money. The man told her that she wouldn't be a peasant for long. He was going to make her a lady. And then he jumped out and took her hand and tried to pull her into his carriage. And she said, quote, I don't want to be a great lady. I only want to be the wife of Dennis.
You're not Dennis.
You can't trick me. Then she ripped her hand out of his and tried to run to the ditch that divided the road because she wanted to hide from him. But the man only signaled to his attendants, who raced after her and pushed her, screaming and fighting, into the carriage.
Jesus.
And then they barred the door and galloped off. She just got immediately kidnapped.
Oh my God.
Before long, they arrived at a gorgeous castle, and Tiffany, who refused to leave the carriage, had to be dragged out and carried into the castle. The young man called for a priest to perform the marriage ceremony then and there, and while they waited, he, quote, tried to win a smile from her by telling of all the beautiful things she would have as his wife, but she wasn't listening to him. She was looking for a way to escape. Because she had put the feather back in her hair when she left for the party.
Oh.
And so she used that wisdom to spot a crack in the wooden paneling where there was like a tiny stream of light coming out of it, like in the wall. So it looked like a regular wall, but it was obviously a false door. Mm-hmm. She touched the copper pin in her dress, and everyone in the hall immediately stood up and was like, should we go count those cabbages? They all just
you know what I really want to do right now?
Count cabbages. I was going to say the same thing. Oh my God.
Girls trip.
You think there's like a lot in there? Let's just go.
How many do you think there are?
Oh my God.
I bet there are 72.
Let's go count! So everybody left to go count the cabbages. And as soon as they were gone, she snuck out through the secret little door, not knowing where she was going. And by now, night had fallen, and Tiffany was exhausted. She passed a convent. It's like a hard work getting kidnapped, you know? She passed a convent, and she knocked on it, and she was like, hi, can I stay here until morning? I've had a really bad day. But the mean old nuns were like, so this isn't a place for beggars, and they sent her out into the night by herself.
It literally is.
It literally is, you mean old nuns. Eventually, she walked until she saw a farmhouse, and a group of people were standing outside, 2 or 3 women and the sons of a farmer. They were all just outside. So she went up to them, and she spoke to the mother, and she told them what had happened, and she begged for a place to stay for the night. And the mother was at first really sympathetic. She was like, that's really hard. Yeah, you could stay here throughout the night, and tomorrow morning we can get you back to your house. And she was just about to, invite her in when suddenly the sons caught sight of her. And seeing how beautiful she was, they all immediately stepped forward to talk to her. And when they saw the other ones were also stepping forward, they started to fight each other and then just take swings at each other until they were all trying to fucking kill each other in the front lawn. And the mom was obviously super alarmed. And she's like, get the fuck out of here. There's something clearly wrong with you. Oh my God. And so Tiffany started to run down the nearest path, but the men started to chase her.
Take off the necklace.
Quote, wild with fear, her legs trembled under her, when suddenly she bethought herself of her necklace. She unclasped it, she had to rip it off her neck, and she threw it to the side, where it accidentally caught on the neck of a pig that was kind of wallowing in a ditch.
Oh, and it became the most beautiful pig.
It did. The footsteps suddenly...
No!
The footsteps... suddenly veered off, now chasing the pig instead of her. This is a horror story for that pig. We don't follow up with that pig, but oh no.
Oh no.
So she kept walking all night until finally, through sheer coincidence, she found herself back home. And so for several days, she was so tired and so sad that she could hardly get work done. She now knew something about the world that she didn't know before. That is a dark place and men fucking suck. Mm-hmm. What made worse, Dennis hardly came to see her at all. I know. He told her it was because he was busy. He was like, listen, only rich people have time to sit around talking all day. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean.
And Tiffany got weaker and weaker every day. She was just so sad and so in love. And one day she whispered to herself that she had been foolish. Dennis didn't want her time, her wit, or her beauty. Boys only cared about money.
And pigs.
Oh, now they care about that pig. She said she should have asked for money. There's that Good Charlotte song. It's like, girls don't want boys, girls want cars and money. That's what she's learning about boys.
And cars don't exist yet.
The money then.
And pigs.
Oh. At this point, the old woman appeared again and told her that if it was money she wanted, it was money she would get. She said, when you get home, you're going to look in your right-hand pocket and you're going to find a small box full of ointment, which you're going to rub in your eyes. Then she would see that she herself contained a priceless treasure.
I really want her to go home, just put a bunch of Vaseline on her face, and then look in the mirror and be like, Oh,
shiny.
I guess the thing that was good about me was that I wasn't covered in Vaseline before, but now I am, so.
Perspective gained.
There you go. It could be worse. I could be covered in Vaseline.
I have been covered in Vaseline.
I am right now covered in Vaseline, and it's worse.
I'll never take for granted again not being covered in Vaseline. Tiffany ran home to the farm as fast as she could, and she pulled the box out of her right-hand pocket. And sure enough, it was filled with ointment, which she immediately began rubbing into her eyes, like as furiously as she could. And as she was doing this, she was like in front of a mirror, just rubbing her eyes with Vaseline. Barbaik entered the room. Quote, ever since she had been obliged to leave her work and pass her time, she did not know why, counting cabbages, everything had gone wrong. And do you say everything had gone wrong? I think I did. I was hoping that we could just get past it.
No.
Everything had gone wrong, and she could not get a laborer to stay with her because of her bad temper. So, like, all the time that she would have been using to work her farm, she was now just using to count cabbages because fucking Tiffany didn't want her around. So she was just like, counting cabbages.
Just move out, dude.
While everything fucking died.
Yeah. And
she was like, maybe I should hire, like, somebody to come work on the farm, but nobody liked her, so like she was really mean. So everything was being bad. So when Barbaik saw Tiffany standing in front of a mirror, she fucking lost it. She told her that it was her fault the farm was failing because she was so lazy and useless. She's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're terrible. You're the worst thing that's ever happened. And Tiffany started like stammering out an excuse, but nothing was helping to quell her aunt's temper. In fact, Barbaik then just started boxing her ears, and between the pain and all the mean words she was hearing and the hard couple days she's had
and being covered in Vaseline,
Tiffany just started to cry. She just burst into tears right then. It all caught up to her. And also, she'd just been hit. But to her surprise, each tear hit the floor as a beautiful, shining pearl. Ding, 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 ding. Barbaik also saw this, and she dropped to her knees to collect the pearls off the floor. And as she was doing this, Dennis came into the house and saw what was happening, and he ran to Barbaik's side, and he dropped down as well, fervently collecting as many pearls as he could. They're just both like, what the fuck is happening? And Barbaik looks at him, and she's like, okay, listen, don't tell anyone about this. We'll give you a share of the pearls if you keep your mouth shut, because I don't want to share with anybody. And he's like, you got it. And then she looked up, and she goes, keep crying, Tiffany. We're gonna be rich! And she held out her apron to catch them, and David, who's also on...
Dennis.
I wrote David. Oh. That's wild. So she held out her apron to catch them, and Dennis, who's also on his knees in front of her as she cries, is holding out his hat to, like, catch pearls. And seeing how greedy they both were, Tiffany got the ick.
Yeah.
Big time.
For both of them.
Yeah. She tried to run out of the room, but Barbaik grabbed her arm and held her still. Then she started to say really sweet things, trying to get her niece to cry more. So, with a great effort, Tiffany stopped herself from crying, and Barbaik was disappointed, and she turned to Dennis and she said, quote, do you think it would do any good to beat her a little?
Jesus Christ, Barbaik!
And Dennis shook his head, thankfully, and said, that is enough for the first time. I'm going to go into town. I'm going to find out how much these pearls are worth. We'll beat her next time if they're actually worth something.
Oh my God.
So, not trusting anyone to deal with her money, Barbaik was like, I'm coming with you. She's like, I don't think that he's not going to cheat me. And so the two left Tiffany there alone. And she sat quietly in a chair for a long time, and it says she clasped her hands so hard it was like she was trying to hold something back. And at long last, she raised her eyes, and she saw in the room, in like a dark corner by the hearth, the fairy was watching her with like a mocking look on her face. And trembling, Tiffany took the feather, the pin, and the box of ointment, and she held them out to the old woman. And she was like, I learned my lesson. I get it. I get what you were trying to teach me. She said, quote, others may have riches, beauty, and wit, but as for me, I desire nothing but to be the poor peasant girl I always was, working hard for those she loves. End quote. The fairy told her that yes, she had learned her lesson, and now she would leave a peaceful life and marry the man she loved, for after all, quote, it was not yourself you thought of, but him. End quote. So I'm actually not going to take the last line from this story. I'm going to take the last line from the same story, but like a different edited. It's not edited by Shahrukh Hussain. Mm-hmm. This one is edited by Elsie Masson. It's from Folktales of Brittany. Same story.
Yeah.
And it's the same ending line, but I think it's worded better in this one. Quote, Tiffany forgave Dennis for having wished to sell her tears, and as they were both no longer hard to please, they were as happy as it is possible to be upon this earth. She married the lad from Plover, and he was always the devoted husband that her heart had longed to have. End quote.
So they both settled.
They both settled. That's the end of this story.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So here's a note. Shahrukh Hussain found this story in Andrew Lang's The Lilac Fairy book. Okay. And she blames Andrew Ling for how unsatisfying this ending is. She says he makes an age-old patriarchal point when at the end of the story he makes Tiffany unable to handle all the power she was given and to settle for a happily ever after with a man. She's like, well, that's just the fucking patriarchy. That's the only explanation for why the story ends the way it does.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't actually make sense. She says, quote, somehow one is left with the feeling that poor Tiffany has been shortchanged, even though we are assured her husband learned to share in the work. Yeah, she's right.
But, I mean, it's interesting that it was included that he is also trying to, like, take advantage of this, because that could have been cut from the story. It could have been just...
It could have just been Barbeck. And then he would have just been, like, a guy.
Yeah, but they made him into a bad guy, and then we're like, and they ended up together.
Also, what happens after this? They both think that she cries pearls, so they definitely also still tried to beat her. They tried to test it out.
Dark.
Anyway, another note, the story contains a magic ointment, which Max talked about extensively in episode 60, Supernatural Itch Cream, parentheses, DNA Test the Sun.
Yes. It's a trope across a lot of, like, Western European stories of the idea of an ointment that you rub in your eyes and it lets you see fairies.
Mm-hmm. In this case, it's a gift from the fairies.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is about the Virago Book of Witches. Shahrukh Hussain collected over 50 stories featuring various versions of witches from around the world. And I just think this is a cool little quote from the inside cover, you know, the description of the book. Mm-hmm. Quote, every corner of the globe bequeaths us folklore and legends about women who step out of line and become banshees, a howling night witch and harbinger of death, she-devils, Lilith and her daughters, or bitches, Hecate whose chariot is drawn by dogs. Beware the witch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. This is a cool little book. I do like it a lot. And I also like at the end, at the very end, she has like a whole section where she like sources all her stories and also gives her opinions on them, which I always appreciate from every author or every editor, you know?
Yeah.
The people who collect it. I want to know what they thought and why they included it. And if they think the same way that I think. And she does. It's not a great ending, but a pretty fun story.
Yeah.
I think that the most upsetting thing is the lesson that beauty is the worst curse that could be given to anybody.
Yeah.
That is like, this goes way back all the way to like Greek mythology, you know, like the idea that Leda, who was just beautiful and one day she was attacked and assaulted by Zeus and then became pregnant with Helen. Helen of Troy was Leda's daughter. And it was like, well, Leda was just so beautiful, Zeus couldn't help himself. And then Helen became the most beautiful woman in the world. And later on, like, an entire war was blamed on her, even though it wasn't her fault at all. Men were just constantly kidnapping her.
Yeah.
You know, and like, even Helen, when she was like 10 years old, was kidnapped by Theseus. And like, because he wanted to make her his wife at like 10 years old, but she was still too little to be his wife. So like, he was like, just hold on to her mom for a little bit and like raise her so that I can marry her later.
Yeah.
And then she had to get like kidnapped back. Like, it was just...
Yeah.
Beauty being the worst curse that could happen to any woman is so prevalent across history that I do think that this story kind of showed very quickly how much it can escalate.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing, though, is that this story posits that the second worst thing that a woman can be is smart.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you're too smart, men won't like you.
Yeah, they're not going to be interested,
forever.
and they're going to think that you are not wife material because you're going to try to like run the household.
Yeah, this whole story, honestly, it's less about her being vain and wanting any particular traits for herself. It's more about the fact that the life that she's been born into requires her to find someone to marry her, and the idea that the man that she wants to be with is incapable of communicating and has impossibly high standards, that like her life is kind of in the balance of having to find someone to marry her.
The idea that her aunt was like, he's not good enough for you at the end is kind of proven right.
I mean, yeah, but
really not
for the wrong reasons.
It's for
She's
the wrong
like, he's
reasons.
too poor, and that's not the reason. The reason is because he's of poor moral character.
I really wish that she hadn't married him at the end.
I really wish she hadn't married him at the
really
end.
wish she'd been like, I learned my lesson, and it's that I've been trying to change myself for men.
For men, yes.
Because that is the lesson.
That is the lesson.
She's been trying to change herself for men, and it's been giving her nothing but grief. And it's like, yeah, because you were fine. There was nothing wrong with Tiffany at the beginning of this.
No, and it's also, like, yeah. To me, like, wanting to be smart also isn't, I just don't... That one really
That one was sad.
rankles me, but
that one kind of reminded me of, if you guys ever listened to the book club episodes, for the Tam Lin story, there is the character, is her name Tiffany? It's not Tiffany. Tina. There's a character named Tina who is dating the Tamlin character. And she's like beautiful. She's also pre-med. She's also like sporty and just a cool character. And she starts to get really insecure and her whole personality changes because the Tamlin character, Thomas Lane, talks down to her constantly. And she's like, I'm not smart enough or interesting for him, you know, enough for him. And then her whole character just starts to like doubt herself. And by the time you're done, you're like, oh my God, Tina's like a different character. And I feel really bad for her. And then at the end, she breaks up with him and he's like, what? Like, that's hilarious.
Good.
But also, like, that's what this reminds me of the idea of, like, somebody is perfectly fine, but there's this, like, mediocre man who's making her feel like she has to be smarter or
prettier or richer
but
or
especially
anything.
smarter. Especially, like, I have to be interesting enough to keep his attention. And it's like, oh my God. That's a very universal, to me, it feels universal for most young women. I know that's gender essentialist, but for me, I'm like, I felt that way about boys constantly because boys, I hung out with a lot of boys who tended to wax poetic about very specific things. Can't tell you how many bad books I read just to try to keep up. And then now I'm like, I would never do that again. House of Blue Leaves.
Yeah, absolutely. That sucks. Here's how I would write that ending.
Okay.
She gives all the stuff back to the fairy, and then the fairy murders Dennis.
Dennis, to me, it seems fine. It's just, the fairy's like, this is the lesson. Or
doesn't murder Dennis, but she's like, and I'm not going to be with Dennis because he fucking sucks. Like, that to me is like...
Dennis, and then Dennis loses out on somebody who he just saw perform, like, magic.
Yeah, exactly. He loses out on that opportunity, and she gets to continue living her life with an understanding of, like...
And somehow...
how she actually wants to be that's not colored by what a man wants from her.
And somehow she gets to also separate herself from her aunt, who is extremely abusive.
Yes.
Like, at some point, the fairy gives her independence and she's able to go off. You know what story has that? Is the very first story I ever told. The
Blackthorn
Walking Stick. That one has that with the girl who's trying to win over somebody's affections because she's so poor and she realizes that's her only chance for a match. But at the end of it, she ends up saving some boys and she ends up marrying one of them because he's kind and he's thankful. And yeah, that was a really good example of a girl
having agency.
And it still goes into like a happily ever after with a man, except that that's not the point of the story, you know? And she doesn't marry that douchebag.
Yeah, the douchebag who made her go into a cemetery in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
To prove something to him.
Just all of these fucking men. Can you imagine doing this amount of work for somebody named Dennis?
No.
Your name is Dennis. Text me. Fight me. Okay.
Janey's negging all Dennises.
Yeah.
If your name is Dennis, you fucking suck.
You fucking suck.
And prove to me that you don't.
Prove your worth. Email us at sortofthestory@gmail.com. All right,
sorry,
Max.
Dennises.
Well, that was the 4 gifts.
That was a very interesting and well-told story.
Thank you very much. Guys, if you have a moment this week, give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts because we are at 99 reviews and I would like an even 100 and then more than that. Mm-hmm. I would like to have more than 100 reviews. That would be fun for me.
Once we get to 100, you guys can start deleting your reviews.
No! No! Max, why would you say that?
I was just kidding. Don't do that, guys.
Cry. We'll have so many pearls. You can text us by clicking the link in the show notes. Join our Patreon, get some bonus episodes, talk to us on the Discord. All those links are in our show notes as well. Visit our website, sortofthestory.com, and hang out with us on Instagram and TikTok, all Sort of the Story. And join our Facebook if you're on there. Who
if that's
are
something
you guys
that you want
on
to do.
There? Wild.
We have a couple of very avid fans on the Facebook, which is very sweet.
That is sweet. Start your own little thing there.
Yeah.
We're not monitoring that. You can do whatever you want.
It's a lawless wasteland over there.
Oh man, no man's land. Facebook.
And
we hope you guys have a really good rest of your week. And we'll see you in 2 weeks with 2 more tales.
2 more tales.
2 more tales. Text us if you know how many holes a horse has. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.
Bye.
Max.
Janey.
As you know, our listeners can text us. And we have a listener from Italy.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is very fun. And The first text we got from them was just saying, I'm Italian and I always misheard thespian as thesbian, and I thought it was slang for theater lesbian, like a subgenre of theater kid.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Lots of people think that.
But the most recent one says, I'm listening to The Bear in the Hut, which is episode 94, and I'm begging you to look up the novel Bear by Marian Engel. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay. Let me go ahead and have you read the description.
Okay. Lou, a shy and secretive young librarian, is called to a remote Canadian island to inventory the estate of the recently deceased Colonel Carey. In a cabin on the island, she discovers the colonel had a secret as well. A bear is chained inside. Fascinated, Lou brings the bear into the house and slowly gains the animal's trust, as you do. She sinks her fingers into the bear's fur and soon realizes her darkest desire is for this large, powerful animal to be her lover, but there's more to the story than the price to be paid for forbidden passion. All right. This novel by award-winning author Marian Engel works within the logic of a fever dream as the young woman comes to an even greater and unexpected understanding of herself. Bear was first published in 1976 and won the Canadian Governor-General's Award for English Language Fiction. The novel has retained its power to shock, disturb, and move readers today, in that order.
So now you can scroll and see the cover.
Oh. Okay. This is like a... How to put this?
What are you looking at? Okay, there's two, but yes.
This first one here, it looks like an airbrush on the side of a van, kind of.
It really does.
It's a topless woman in a skirt, and she has long hair that is covering all of her boobs except for the nipple and also the rest of the boob. It's like it's doing a bad job.
It's not covering
not
her boob
really
at
any
all.
of the boob. And then there's a bear behind her, and she's like leaning back into the bear seductively. And
the text kind of reminds me of a Fleetwood Mac.
Yes.
album
Yeah,
cover.
it's very, very Fleetwood Mac. And then the other one is Marian Engel, Bear, a novel. And it's just a picture of a big old black bear, and there's an arm over the bear's shoulders.
The way that
A human arm.
The way that this bear, he looks like such a cartoonish kind of sad bear.
Yeah, it's
the
like
human
really
arm
wanting-
seems predatory.
It seems like she's trying to fuck Winnie the Pooh. Like,
Yeah, and like this bear doesn't deserve this.
yeah.
So
It's like if you met Yogi Bear at the grocery store and you were like, hey, do you want to get out of here?
except that Yogi Bear is the scamp. He seems like he could hold his own. And this bear, I'm worried that he can't consent.
He just looks like a bear in nature. Just a bear who is hanging out, and he's kind of like...
Which is in
sat
fact what
in
the
his
book is
silly
about.
He's just sat in his silly little like bear sit, and he's looking around like he's just observing nature, and then there's this lascivious woman with her arm around him.
Lascivious whore.
Yeah.
So I was looking up this novel, which was written in the 70s. Today, this is not a wild novel, right?
No.
Like today, there are a bunch of novels about like people fucking sentient forks and shit, which is a real thing. The sentient fork.
Get forked.
It's just called Forked.
Good.
And the PR
Even
box
better.
comes with an engraved fork that says, I've been forked.
Ugh.
Anyway.
I hope they blunted it.
But this one was written in the 70s, and apparently she wrote it as part of, like, from what I read, there was, like, a competition for, like, weird erotica or whatever, and it was, they only invited, like, actual established authors, and it was making a point, and so she wrote a story about a woman fucking a bear, and they were like, too much, and then rejected it, and she was like, you asked for this!
It's what you asked for.
And
she misread it. It's erotica,
not
bear-erotica.
bear-erotica.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
Anyway, to our Italian listener, thank you for that. That gave me a little giggle.
What a delight. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.